I am not a cheater. I don't need to. I am not half of the boxer I was 5 years ago. I don't need to cheat. I don't even need strength, like I told you the day of the press conference. I may not be stronger than you, but I don't need it. I have the intelligence and my capability of learning, which I believe is one of my biggest virtues. And I have learned so much that what I got is enough. I will fight to prove my innocence. And I will fight for my career not to end up like this. I don't deserve it. I didn't work this hard to leave it to your hands and to your big mouth.
Now, that was Hanna Gabriels. This was back in May, right after she was so-called suspended, for lack of better words, and you'll understand why I say that in a second. This was Hanna Gabriel speaking on her so-called suspension, and on my channel I have several videos covering her explaining, where it's strictly her talking, not my words, where she explains what happened, how she popped dirty, why she popped dirty, and why she should have not been suspended. Now, with that being said, I'm gonna play some of the video. So I'll let her explain what happened. Then we'll go over the paperwork that she just put out a couple days ago, and we'll go from there.
Ahí ven ustedes que dice clostebol. So this is the medicine. This is for veterinarian use, for animal use, and it says it has clostebol. You see it there. Oh, I don't think you can see it, but it says clostebol. That was the substance that was found in my urine test, and we did report this. Esta fue la sustancia que se encontró, el clostebol. No es la sustancia, es el componente. It was not the substance, it's the component, clostebol. So eso fue lo que salió positivo. There was not a chance for me not to be not positive because of when the puppies were born, and because I was the one taking care of them. We didn't know about this. There's a lot of people saying, well, you're a professional athlete, you should know. I didn't know. Now,
this is what she put out on her Instagram, I believe, a couple days ago. After a thorough, factual, and scientific review of the findings and considering Miss Gabriel's admissions of having administered Neobal to her dog, which resulted in prolonged cutaneous exposure and inhalation of it, the careful examination and investigation of the potential adverse finding reported incredible scientific literature which have resulted from such exposure and inhalation, and Miss Gabriel's reports to the sample collectors to that effect. The WBC and Miss Gabriel's hereby agree to the following factual findings. Miss Gabriels agreed to participate in the WBC CBP, the anti-doping tests of the two A samples collected from Miss Gabriels on May 2nd, 2023 and May 9th, 2023 in connection to her participation in the WBC CPB. Collections gave adverse findings for the presence of the M1 metabolic of an anabolic steroid known as cholesterol. Cholesterol is a banned substance under the WBC CPB by virtue of its inclusion in VADA's list of banned substances. The WBC is not aware that Miss Gabriels has ever before tested positive for any banned substance. At all times during the WBC results management team's investigation, Miss Gabriels, through her promoter, was 100% cooperative and forthcoming. There is no evidence that Miss Gabriel purposefully used a banned substance for the purpose of enhancing her competition performance. Ms. Gabriel admitted to accidental exposure and ingestions of Nebiol, or Nebol, however you pronounce it, which is a commonly prescribed post-surgery medication for domestic animals. Nebol active ingredients is cholesterol acetate, or however you pronounce that. The WBC found no evidence that Ms. Gabriel's exposure and inhalation of Nebiol was intentionally directed to enhance her performance in boxing competition. Non-intentional exposure and contact with Nebiol has been documented as linked with adverse findings for cholesterol, and as the CBP results manager, the WBC has complete discretion as to extent and nature of any penalty it imposes upon Mrs. Gabriels. In other words, Hanna Gabriels will not be suspended from this point on. She is free to fight. She will definitely be coming after Claressa Shields, and rightfully so. The two got a grudge rematch that needs to be settled that was scheduled back in May before her suspension, and the two have no love lost. Claressa Shields is on record saying she does not respect Hanna Gabriels because of her so-called drug use. She believes the reason why Hanna Gabriels was able to knock her down is because she was juiced up. Hanna Gabriels now is pronounced innocent, so I guess that theory kind of goes out of the window. But at the end of the day, this will be arguably the biggest fight you can put Claressa Shields in the ring with, that is Hanna Gabriels, despite a lot of noise being made on Twitter between Claressa Shields and Alicia Baumgartner. I would have to argue this would be a bigger fight. Even though Alicia is undisputed at 130, it's at 130. That's way below Claressa Shields' weight class. Hanna Gabriels, on the other hand, former welterweight, former super welterweight, and would be current light heavyweight champion, WBA that is, courtesy of the WBA, and would be current heavyweight champion via WBC. But as I know, or as I believe, she is currently stripped of those titles. I looked it up. They didn't have her listed at champion at heavyweight or light heavyweight. But during the time of those two second meeting that would have took place on June 3rd, she was currently the WBA light heavyweight champion and currently the WBC heavyweight champion. I know you might be saying, well, hold up, she don't look like no heavyweight. Well, the fight at those particular weight classes, especially heavyweight, you don't have to actually get up to the actual weight. You can just go in and fight for the belt, because she ain't no 200-pounder, no crap like that. So I don't know, you'll have to figure it out on your own. Go look it up. But she was the champion at WBC heavyweight champion and the WBA light heavyweight champion. And that would have been a mega fight for that alone. I can't remember if they were supposed to be fighting at 160 or 168, but all of that goes out the window. Who cares? The point is, she's back and she wants revenge for Claressa Shields running her mouth. I can't wait to hear more people talking about this. Nobody's speaking on this. It's almost like she was left for dead. It'll be very interesting to find out if she'll be reinstated for her titles, and also it'll be very interesting to see if perhaps she'll take a warm-up fight or a tune-up fight before calling Claressa Shields back out. Because let's be honest, when they were about to fight back in June, she had already been on a 2-year hiatus. So in my opinion, she does need to take a tune-up fight before getting in the ring with Claressa Shields. You don't want to fight the best women's boxer in the world and arguably of all time on a 2-year hiatus. So I think it probably would be smart for her to fight a tune-up fight. Maybe not a pushover, but then again, maybe not somebody that's at the top level in either, because you still want to be able, to get back acclimated to being in the ring, but not necessarily take an L in doing so. So that's pretty much all I got. This head busting boxes on Fight Doctor. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Would you rather see her, Claressa Shields that is, fight Elisa Bumgarner, who she's been beefing with over the last month or so, or a couple weeks, whatever, on social media? Or would you prefer to see her fight Hanna Gabriels, who's coming back off of suspension from the doping allegations she had when they were supposed to fight last spring? Hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what you think. This head busting boxes on Fight Doctor. I am out.